Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, September the 12th. We are rolling a little bit different once again. This time I decided to go with the Skanks. Anyways, social commentary aside, land on the right-hand side, go kind of where my critters went. Your tanks are going to end up where my tanks ended up, and eventually you'll get a win with lots of loot and really minimal effort. Stage 2, same deal, land the right-hand side, let them crawl up on this, like, goo thing, and then flare them kind of to the right of the sniper tower. And the only reason for that is you don't want to go over the boom mine if you can avoid it. If your tanks are a little bit lower level, it'll matter. And then once you're kind of in position over here, you can shoot at the HQ. If you're getting hit by the sniper tower or the rocket launcher, you can throw one stun. It'll hit both of them. It'll minimize damage and hopefully get you through the stage. Then on stage 3, I landed this time on the left-hand side, right in front of the boom cannon. And one shock will take out the boom cannon, the sniper tower, and the mortar. You want to take out all three of those as quickly as possible, because once they're gone, the landing zone is pretty clear, and you can throw a barrage over on the cannon slash minefield, if you want to call it that. It's only a whole 2 mines, but still, if you're a lower level, it counts completely. So, from the left-hand side, you should be able to bombard the HQ. Nothing will hit you. You'll have a nice easy ride to getting some fat loots, and then you will be able to move on to stage 4. And I know what all of you lower-level people are saying out there in the world. Oh my god, stage 4. Now what's going to happen? What's stage 4 going to be like? Because normally, as of late, it's been nasty. And this time, it's actually really, really nice. So as you can see, you got a boom cannon right on the beach. Obviously, blow it up. Smoke the left-hand side if you really need to, just because there's like sniper tower and some boom cannons over there. It should only be like one smoke, and then land everything down on the right-hand corner. Let them ride up the right-hand limit of the map, I guess. It's not really a wall per se. But yeah, the right-hand wall. And then once you work your way into the back corner, pretty much where I flared, kind of right behind that tree, the tank should naturally kind of move in and take out the mortar. And the sniper tower, I believe, is also in range. Some of your tanks might target it, some might not. But eventually that sniper tower will fall, and once that happens, you're free and clear. You've got wide open spaces to blow up this HQ all day long, which is fantastic because on stage 4, it's got around 200,000 hit points, so you might be there for a little while. But hey, that's okay. It's a nice easy win. Not gonna complain. Let's move on to stage 5 now. Stage 5 on, well, like, on the difficulty scale, I guess, of, you know, the average stage 5s is pretty low. I feel like it was a pretty easy one this week. So when you land, everything is kind of on the left-hand side, and the boom cannons are pretty hefty. They have 17,000 hit points on them, so it's going to take a little bit of extra love. But once you take out the one boom cannon, you can land everything down in the bottom right-hand corner and outrange the rest of the boom cannons. There are a couple of cannons in a sniper tower that you're going to have to go through that are probably going to need a little bit of extra love, just because, you know, they're pretty tough. And obviously, because I'm rolling Skanks, and there's really no point in dropping any Scorchers at this point in time, I dropped just an extra boat of tanks. So, yeah, you know, it's 9 tanks, but it would be the equivalent of dropping all tanks with no medics, I guess, if you had, you know, 7 boats. Hopefully. I'm not really sure, but I just kind of did it because I was like, well, I can't take any damage, so I might as well throw down a little extra damage of my own, hopefully getting me around having to worry about getting shot at by boom cannons. Anyways, once you kind of get up into the top corner, right where I ended up dropping my tanks, this is your safe zone. The boom cannon can't actually reach you. The regular cannons can't reach you. I believe a mortar can reach you, and that one sniper tower. Now, if you're lucky, like I am, that sniper tower should almost be dead, or like just like an artillery away from being dead, from when you kind of swept in from the right-hand side. So you can just finish that off with GBE to make it a little bit safer for your tanks. Or if you have actual medics sitting around, you can, you know, let your medics have something to do and heal up after the sniper tower. Stage 6 today, again, really, really nice. If you normally only get to stage 5, you could probably pull this stage 6 off. The reason I say that is 2 artillery, obviously, on those 2 touching boom cannons can really hurt them both. And then, like, sorry, I'm not sure if I said barrage, but 2 barrage, 1 on each boom cannon, and then like an artillery spread between the 2 to finish them off if you're a lower level and you can't finish them with 1 barrage, and you're laughing. And then, again, I'm landing a bunch of tanks because, well, I got no medics, but you could probably get away with fewer tanks and more medics and have the same result. If anything, it's a little bit tougher without the medics because, well, I can't heal, which means I have to minimize the amount of damage. And if I'm minimizing the amount of damage that I'm receiving, that means if you're, you know, a slightly lower level, you're stuck under fire a little bit longer, the medics will kind of balance things out, and hopefully it'll all be good. Now, I decided to go left-hand side, obviously blowing up all of the boom cannons in the middle. Oh my goodness. Well, that's awkward. Yeah. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that. So, okay. Good news is, it didn't last long, and hopefully won't occur again. But go up the left-hand side towards the HQ, stay out of range of the boom cannons that you've left kind of sitting down there on the right, and also make sure to toss some critters to clear out those boom mines, because especially if you don't have any healers, if they start doing damage to you, they're gonna hurt bad. Now, because you've bombed the snot out of everything kind of in the middle there, hopefully you should find yourself in the same position where I have, where you're all the way over on the left-hand side, and all the defenses are way over on the right-hand side, and with the exception of maybe a mortar or 2, nothing's going to be shooting at you. You'll be able to take down the base with relative ease. And then you can move on to stage 7. Now, up until now, obviously, I have not boosted anything, no boosted gameplay. Stage 7, because I am running Skanks, I boosted my GBE just so that I'd be able to actually drop all of them. It's one of the reasons I haven't been dropping the Scorchers through this whole thing, is because they take a little bit of extra GBE and it kind of gets tight. So I boosted my GBE statue only so that I could land all my troops at the same time and throw down, you know, a shock or flare or whatever I need to in order to kind of corral these things into where I want them corralled. And the Skanks work, just maybe, you know, not as good as the T-Med. I don't know, I'm kind of, I'm split. I feel like the Skanks definitely have their place, but the T-Med is just, it's so strong. Anyways, once you get up into the top right-hand corner, you're going to come across the very top, throw 1 shock, you can actually hit the boom cannon and I think it's 3 of the shock launchers. The nice thing about doing this level with Skanks is all those shocks start shooting at the Scorcher instead of your tanks. So even though the Scorchers are kind of stuck in place, your tanks are able to come in and just clear the map, which is kind of a good thing, because otherwise sometimes Scorchers get a little carried away. They start digging way, way down deep into that base, and it gets all kinds of bad. Anyways, hopefully, guys, you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. hopefully you have found this entertaining, hopefully you found it educational, and most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.